development of today is so consequential that when I asked my friend, the CEO of AFC, almost 4 days ago, that we are going to have this event, he canceled his travel and waited because he said he must speak on this occasion because it is a most consequential occasion, not just for Kenya, but for the continent. And you have heard his statement. He has said with clarity that we must build the future rather than wait for that future. The National Infrastructure Fund gives us the opportunity to build the future rather than wait for it. He has said another fundamental statement, because I was listening very carefully. He said, for a very long time, we have been exporting our jobs FOB and importing inflation CFI. Did you listen? So it is time to change that. And this is the opportunity, working together, for us to change that. And I will, with a lot of pride, work with you on your theme of Africa we build. We will be there. Because we want, this is our continent we must build. At a very personal level, I have been building. Yes. From right here in State House, this structure you see here, I built it. And you can see there is construction going on. And it's not just going on in State House. It is going on in markets. It's going on in hostels. It is going on in housing projects. It's going on in the roads. It's going on everywhere. We are building Kenya, and we will work with you to build Africa. Because that is what it is. That is how we are going to transform our nations. I also wish to thank the people of Kenya and Parliament for their support in passing the National Infrastructure Bill. Through public participation, thousands of Kenyans contributed ideas that helped strengthen the governance and transparency provisions contained in the final act. In approving this legislation, Parliament has once again demonstrated foresight, responsibility, and a shared commitment to strengthen the long-term foundation of our country's growth and prosperity. Let me single out the Leader of Majority and the Chair and Committee of Parliament on Finance. Please, if they can rise up so that we can applaud them. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. When I finally write my book, you will have a special chapter. Because what we are doing today is very, very consequential to the development of our great nation. Today's moment, therefore, represents more than a creation of a fund. It represents a new chapter in how Kenya finances its future. A chapter where we invest at scale in the foundation of a first-world economy, transforming agriculture through extensive irrigation and water infrastructure, expanding modern infrastructure, including roads, rail, ports, airports, and logistic corridors that connect our farms, factories, and markets, and scaling up reliable energy to power industry, innovation, and value-added production across our economy. A chapter where our ambition is matched by our capacity. A chapter where the savings of Kenyans today build the infrastructure of Kenya's tomorrow. And a chapter where development is not postponed for tomorrow, but financed confidently today. Let me conclude by saying today is a most important day for me. You know, when I see us moving from the discussions we've been having, when I listen to what the private sector is doing, and I want to associate myself with what the banks have said. You know, when we asked our local banks, when we had a crisis of fuel in Kenya, we didn't have oil products in Kenya because we had serious shortages. And we asked banks to step in so that we can create a G2G framework. Some banks were shy, understandably so, but some stepped up. Today, I am very proud of the contribution of Kenya Commercial Bank. In fact, they endured a lot of ridicule. They were told that they were so much in bed with government, they would suffer many consequences. But look at what has happened. The share of KCB at the Nairobi Securities Exchange has moved from, what was it in 17, 18, 20, what? 15 shillings in 2023, today is close to 80. That is what happens when you work with government in a structured manner. And friends, we are not mad and we are not fools. We know what we are doing. And we want to do it with you. We want to work with you. I am very happy that many of our banks now believe in what we are doing, and many of them are stepping forward. I want to encourage you that we will be prudent, we will be responsible, we will be transparent as well. And we want to have a candid conversation with our financial institutions because we must together be prudent in the management of the resources of our nation. We don't have a nation that belongs to the private sector, neither do we have one that belongs to the public sector. We are one, and therefore we will work together. Let me say one more thing. Lindsay Capital worked with us in raising resources for the building of Talanta, one of our very big stadia that will host AFCON next year. I saw a gentleman say that, you know, William Ruto and the government, they have already pledged for 15 years money from our resources to build Talanta. Yes, we have. That's correct. That's what we have done. But I want to ask the question. The last 15 years, what has that fund done? Do you have anything that you can see that that fund has done for the last 15 years? Nothing. Cabro here, a gate there, some other money stolen at the corner, others appropriated at another place. We are better off pledging 15 years when we can see a facility like Talanta Center standing, because then there will be no money to be stolen and there will be no money to be appropriated or to be misappropriated, because the money will be locked up in an asset that we can see. That's the whole difference. So if you are complaining that we have pledged money for 15 years to build Talanta, before you make that statement, tell us what that money has done the last 15 years. At least we can show that we have an asset that we can begin to use today. And we can monetize it today. That's how we are going to be innovative. That's how we are going to change our country. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am carried away. So forgive me if I have spoken more than I should, but I am very happy that we're all sitting here as Kenyans, and we are thinking about how we can synergize, we can bring the private sector, we can bring the public sector to be able to grow our economy, develop our country, because that way we not only create jobs for our children, but we develop our country that will benefit, and when the economy expands, it's good for everybody. It's good for the private sector, it's good for the public sector, it's good for Kenya. I want to pledge and commit to you that whatever it takes, I will continue to lead from the front. Whatever the consequences, I will continue to lead from the front. Because you don't get the opportunity to be president anytime. It's a privilege and a great honor. And while I have it, I will do the best that I can, because it is high privilege to lead a nation. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for coming for this occasion. Sasa kazi inaanza tomorrow morning tukisonga mbele. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May I request, Your Excellency, for you to just remain on stage for one photo, just one photo to immortalize this day. The Finance Committee members, if we can make way to the front. Let's take our seats, please, the rest of us, for just a minute. Just one photo that will remind us of this day, the Finance Committee.